Hi, in this video we are going to practice all the alignment creation methods we learned in the previous videos. That means alignment creation tool methods with fixed, free and floating entities. In my drawing I have a line created and I have given few steps so that you can use these steps to create your alignment. So we will be creating the alignment using these steps. So before doing that, I want you to set your object snaps in such a way that it will not disturb you when creating the alignment, as well as it will help you to create the alignment. To do that, press shift key on your keyboard. While pressing shift key, right click on your mouse button and go to object snap settings or snap settings. Then make sure only endpoint and nearest are turned on. I have intersection turned on. I will uncheck that one. I have only nearest and endpoint turned on. Then I click OK. Then I go to create alignment from alignment creation tools. Then I accept the default. For the moment I will turn off the labels. Anyway, I will make the labels on and I click OK. Then my first option is to start the alignment with fixed line 2 points, these 2 points. So I go here, fixed line 2 points. This is my first endpoint and this is my second endpoint. The snapping helps me to find out the correct endpoint. Then I click here, then press enter. You can see my stationing also appears. Then my second point is fixed curve from entity end through point. So you have curve here. This is the one we have to find, fixed curve from entity end through point. So the curve will be created from the end of this entity, and the true point will be the end of this curve. Now we can see the stationing continues. Now our number 3 is here. It is a fixed curve 3 point. It's a fixed curve 3 point. Then number 4 is free line between two curves. Free line, you can have it here. You select the first entity as, then now it is asking for the second entity. Before that I have to do something. I will turn off this tangent lines. That is why it is not coming. I turn off that. Now I go to that command. First I select this one, then I select this one. You can see the line created. Then I press escape. You can see the stationing continues. Then my number 5 is floating line from curve through point. Here floating line from curve through point, this one. Click this one and my alignment will pass through this point. So I press enter. Then my number 6 is floating curve from entity end through point. Here floating curve from entity end through point. My endpoint is here and my true point is somewhere here. Then my number 7 is floating curve from entity radius through point. Here I have floating curves here from entity radius through point. So I am selecting my first entity, then it is asking for my radius. Radius is given as 150 here, so I type 150 here. Then it is asking for the solution angle. Usually it is coming as less than 180. This curve is a reverse curve. It is asking whether the curve is compound or reverse. This is a reverse curve, so I type R to accept the reverse curve. Then it is asking to specify the end point, so your end point will be here. Then number 8 is floating line from curve through point. This one earlier we did also. Select this one and go to the end point here. Then number 9, it is a fairly new command, floating curve from entity through point direction at point. So it is here, floating curve from entity through point direction at point. I select this option and it is coming from this one, and this is the end point of the curve, and direction is given by the direction of this line. So I have to select a point along this line. My nearest object snap helps me to select that line, so I click this and press enter, so my curve appears as like this. Finally I go with floating line from curve through point. We did that one earlier also, so we did that earlier also, so that command is highlighted here. We don't need to go and select from here, it is already highlighted. You can see here from this check mark. So instead of going this drop down, we click here, then I click this endpoint of the curve and click the endpoint of this line to complete the alignment. So that is a complete practice of the alignment creation tools we have learned so far. So you can practice on your own and get more experience on this. That is about alignment creation tools with Civil 3D alignment creation.